Good morning. I'd like to call this Lord Selkirk West Kildonan Community Committee meeting to order. It's July 4th, 2025. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're on Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'm Councillor Debbie Sharma. I'll be chairing today's committee meeting. I'm joined by Councillor Ross Eady, and we have from our clerk's department, Mr. Peter Prinsloo, and our planner, Ms. Simi Perez from the Planning, Property and Development Department. Thank you. Councillor Eady, will you move the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll move the meeting of the minutes of May 20th. I move that the minutes of May 26, 2025 be read and confirmed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? That's carried. We have the number of delegations today. Mr. Clerk, our first delegation.
Our first delegation is Inspector Hall to speak with respect to police matters.
Thank you. Welcome, Inspector.
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Very good. Thank you.
Good.
Good. So I'll just run as I usually do. I'll run through some of the numbers from the previous month and then go into a couple other issues. But just for total dispatch calls for the last month, North District officers attended to 4,203 calls for service. Our community support officers attended to 726 calls for service. We had a total divisional arrest of 445 individuals arrested, and 73 of these were individuals who were wanted on warrants. Within the community, our community engagements, we had about 75 hours of community engagements, and this is our community support unit. And really what this consisted of for the last month was a lot of the school functions that were going on in June. Our total SPATs, which is officers on foot in the area, about 170 hours. Total traffic stops, so total events where we had traffic stops, and it'll be our three individuals who are assigned to our divisional traffic division. 779 events for 128 hours. And then traffic events where individuals in the community have concerns or complaints. There was 192 calls for service in this regard. 442 hours were spent at specific locations within a community dealing with concerns. Total proactive time spent in a community by officers in North District was just under 1,000 hours at 937 hours. And that includes all kinds of events in a community, whether it's at community halls or schools, etc. During the month, obviously, we had wildfire evacuees in the city. In the North District, Leela Soccer Complex housed a lot of these individuals. So we had something called wildfire callouts, where we had an extra unit assigned on each shift to deal with any issues that may occur. Although there weren't really any issues at the Leela Soccer Complex, businesses in the area did call with some concerns about minor events like shoplifting or just nuisance complaints. So the unit that was assigned did deal with some of those events. When they were not dealing with the wildfire callouts, as we were calling them, they were taking calls for service within North District, keeping our queue down. Overall, I don't have my stats yet for the month of June, but it looks like our overall crime stats are probably down by a couple percentage points, and gun violence seems to be down in the area, although with gun violence, I'm not sure everyone calls when something like that occurs, but I'll be getting those statistics very shortly. And then Canada Day long weekend, we had spikes. We were really busy. Like we had about three times during the 4-day period where our resources were run really short for about 4 or 5 hours when calls for service spiked. But overall, all things considered, a pretty quiet Canada Day long weekend. That's just a quick overview of the month of June and just into July, pending any questions from council.
Thank you, Inspector Hall. So that was the month of June and July, you said?
The month of June, and I only touched on the beginning of July just for the long weekend.
Just to date, yeah. Now, can you, I know we know the answer, but I'd just like to put it on the public record again. What is the area of North District, the definition of that area?
Oh, the boundaries, so it'll be Logan Avenue going north, Point Douglas, along the river, all the way to the perimeter. Up the perimeter and into the Amber Trails area, back down down Keewatin into Logan.
Thank you. And how are we sort of stacking up against other areas of the city? Do you have any comparables on the stats that you shared?
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers. I can tell you, compared to downtown, our crime, our level, our calls for service, I guess is what I'll say, are lower than Division 11, so downtown area. And actually, we are, from a policing perspective, slower than West District right now. So that'll be the St. James, Polo Park area. We're slower than that. I think we still are ahead of East District, which will be the Transcone area. So, you know, as you know, like 10, 12 years ago, obviously North District always was the higher crime area in the city. And right now, over the last 6 months or so, since I've been here, our stats seem to be going down quite a bit in the North District. So compared to the other 4 districts in the city, there's 2 other districts that have higher crime rates right now than North District.
Hard to pinpoint exactly, but you know, why the downtrend? I mean, that's a good thing, but do you have any things that you can point to of why we're seeing that trend?
Yeah, you know, it's really difficult. Just based on my 25 years of policing experience and my background, I'll say there's 2 or 3 factors. When COVID-19 hit, a lot of the individuals that were requiring social services in the North End did transition to the downtown area where the social services were. And I'm not sure you've seen that transition back to certain areas of the North End. Number 2, and this is just my opinion, but just given my experience previously in our firearms unit and organized crime unit, I do think gun violence actually does, although it's does raise crime statistics in certain areas. I do think when it comes to the criminal element on a street, it almost levels out the playing field or keeps people, for lack of better words, honest. You don't have the gang and street level violence that you would see without gun violence, if that makes any sense to you. Like gun violence actually kind of does straighten things out a little bit in that regard, although it's still a big problem. I will say this too. I think crimes that are fueled by alcohol seem to have gone down, in particular in the North District, because a lot of our the hotels and the bars that were selling alcohol in the last 5 or 6 years, if you know, have been sold, and we've refurbished certain areas so you don't have that sale of alcohol. In conjunction with that, with the rise of fentanyl and fentanyl use, I just think the violent crime in that regard's gone down, and then you have drug-related crimes, which are generally more minor crime. So there's probably a combination of 3 or 4 different factors. You know, I'd like to say it's good police work as well. I think we've made different, you know, had some different initiatives here in the North End, and we're more focused on community-related policing issues. So, for example, the Main Street, Selkirk area, our foot patrols have stepped up. We've added some more resources in that area. A committed enforcement level in the Point Douglas area. And then William White area, same thing, just our community service, our community support unit with a heavier focus in a community as opposed to enforcement,
Thank you. We do really appreciate that community engagement on the ground. And the 3 counselors, Councillor Eady especially, myself and Councillor Santos, we work closely with you as the inspector in the area, and you're always available when we need to connect with you offline outside of these meetings. So we really appreciate that. Councillor
no
Eady,
problem.
at this time?
No, I'm just, thanks for keeping up the good service out there, and let's hope that the crime stays down.
We're doing our best. Thank you very much.
And Inspector, again, just fair to say, public safety is of importance across the city.
Yep.
And there's challenges in various neighborhoods, whether you're Tuxedo or the Maples or Transcona, you know. That priority that the city of Winnipeg, the mayor and council put on public safety transcends the whole city. And we thank you for your work, the police service.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, next delegation.
Next, we have Lynn Zhu, to be heard with respect to reports 1 and 2, which are 230 and 160 Grave Streets at both plans.
Okay, and Mr. Clerk, I'm wondering if delegation number 3 would like to come up at the same time. I think we did that last time.
We can certainly do that, yes. And that is Yadwinder Singh Sandhu, to be heard with respect to the same items.
If you please come forward. Mr. Lin?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Okay. And so on the. All right, we've got one delegation on via Zoom. Thank you, welcome. And you're going to talk
Thank
to
you.
both of your projects, 230 DeGrave, and the second report is 160 DeGrave, but they're side by side on in the Northwest Winnipeg there on that lot. Okay, go ahead. Who would like to speak first?
Len will go ahead
Okay,
first.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here again to speak about our projects. Let me start with 230 DeGrave. We are proposing to build 119 units and 180 parkings. So the building will be mixed with bachelors, one
Len,
bedrooms.
can you start with the location of the place, just so we're on the same
Oh,
page. Yeah, location. is-
okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, the first one will be 230 DeGrave. Yeah, so we're proposing 119 units with 180 parkings. The building will be mixed with bachelors, 5 bachelors, 19 one bedrooms, and 83 two bedrooms with 2 bathrooms, and 12 3 bedrooms. So total parking is 180 with 48 small car parkings and 18 visitor parkings, and 2 van accessible parkings, 6 accessible parkings, and the bicycle parking we also provided 18 of them. So the front yard setback is 25 feet, rear yard setback is 118 feet, north side yard is 138 feet. So south corner side yard will be 20 feet as well. And 15% of the residential units will be affordable housing with affordable rate. And we do provide adequate landscaping on the north side, south side yards, and the front yard, and the middle parking area to meet the city requirement. We also designed a play structure at 160 DeGrave to be shared with 230 DeGrave. So for 160 DeGrave, we also propose to build 119 units and 180 parkings.
Okay, Lynn, if we can just pause the presentation, we need to just take a quick recess and we'll
Yep.
come back to the committee because we're gonna lose quorum and we just need to come back in a few minutes. There's another city hall committee going on at the same time.
Stop the meeting, presentation.
Okay.
Good morning. I'd like to reconvene our Lord Selkirk West Kildonan Community Committee meeting after a short recess. Apologize for the recess. But one of Councillor Reedy needed to go to the property committee that's also meeting at the same time to speak in delegation there on an item. Now back to the delegations, Mr. Clerk. We are on item 1, plan approval, 230 DeGrave Street. Item 2, plan approval, 160 DeGrave Street. And we're hearing from our presenters, Mr. Lin and Mr. Yadwinder Sandhu. Okay, Lin, back to you now.
Okay. For 160 DeGrave, we also propose to build 119 units mixed with 5 bachelors, 19 one bedrooms, 83 2 bedrooms with 2 washrooms, 12 3 bedroom with 2 washrooms. The parking also provided 180 with 18 visitor parkings, 18 small car parkings, 2 van accessible parkings, 6 accessible parkings, plus 18 bicycle parkings. So the building is 316 foot long by 64 foot wide, and the lot coverage is 18.97%. As you can see, the middle area, we did a heavier landscaping plus play structure, which will be good for future residents to use. On both sides, we also provided slow pining zone. So in the wintertime, we can push all the slow to this area. Then to avoid to push them to the public area. That's pretty much everything for both lots. Any questions, if you have?
Mr. Sandu, would you like to add anything?
Yes, like as we were in the last meeting and we were talking about the community, and we do, if you see the plans, we do have a proper playground area, and which is kind of a need, and we have a benches in that playground area as well, so community can sit together with their kids and watch their kids. So and we do have a fence around it. So that's the key thing to that area. Like they do have a park besides our property, but we think having a kind of a playground area within the site, it's it's a good asset. And as we already seen at our Templeton project, people are really liking it. So that's what we want to add. Everything else, like Lynn already said, and if you have any question,
Okay,
just let us know.
thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I do appreciate the playground being added. I see that is in the 160 DeGrave property.
Yes.
160 DeGrave, yes. How is your playground being used in the other project on the corner of Templeton and Pipeline? Are the families enjoying that space?
Yes,
Okay, that was a good addition there as well.
yes,
Yeah, because they're close by to where they live. They can pop out quickly with the children and have fun outdoors for a little while. And then there's larger parks in the area that will be built, as you mentioned.
yes.
Now, the play equipment, I would like to speak to you offline after this is approved, sometime when you're thinking of what specifically you're going to order.
Sure.
We could have that conversation. Did you learn from the equipment that you have at the other site? Is that performing well? Would you do things a little bit differently? Have you thought about that?
No, the one we have already on Templeton, people are enjoying it.
They're enjoying it?
And yes, and we make it kind of a vibrant color scheme.
Yes, yes,
And you like it pop up if you drive on Pipeline Templeton,
yes.
it pop up from the corner.
What are
So
you planning on putting in here? Is it swings? What kind of play equipment? Have you
So-
decided?
yes, Lynn, can you add on to that?
Yes, we do study the play structure from the school and in the area. We do comparison, and we do select a different product for different projects,
That's a good
so
idea.
people can see the difference.
Yes, that's a good idea. So whatever's at the school in the area, maybe something a little bit different. Because I have been hearing that the play equipment in the school grounds wasn't as exciting as some of the children would have wanted. So you're filling that gap, and we're going to fill the gap when we do the new playground in the park as well. Because kids do
Yes,
go to different playgrounds to experience different play equipment, not the same things always. All those swings are a staple.
Yes,
Okay, and just next time, I just want to point out, your presentation is good, but we do like having a PowerPoint presentation
sure.
on the screen. I mentioned it last time we did at the committee, and I'm going to mention it again because we can see the layout, the site design, play equipment. There's all of those things that you could bring up on the screen and point to during your
Sure.
presentation. So please keep that in mind in the future.
For sure.
You mentioned snow storage. Do you have that on both sites?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
And for play structure, I think we did way more than what the school has.
Okay, well, I see the markings of what the placeholder, but I'd like to speak to you offline, so we'll follow up on that.
sure.
Appreciate your attention to the needs of the children. Now, in terms of accessibility, you've worked with the planner and communicated, I think, to Ms. Jerez about the accessibility level you're going to have in here. Can you talk about that a little bit? Wider doors?
Yes. As you can see, from the parking to the building, there's no stairs, just ramp. And once you are in the building, we have 6-foot wide hallway. Most of the buildings we see in Winnipeg, just 5 feet. We have 6-foot hallway in the public area. And each unit, once you get in, we have bigger doors, entry doors. We are gonna go over 36 inches, probably 38 inch, for the entry door and the bathroom door as well. And for bedroom wise, we will do 36 inch wide door.
So the entry door, the bedroom door, the bathroom door. Yeah, and it's
Yes,
one in the bedroom, like the bedroom door, one of them, if you can't do all of them, because otherwise folks can just visit, but they can't live there if they can't get in the bedroom. Now, I really appreciate your work on this. Now, is this something you were planning or it kind of got crystallized when we brought it up at the committee? Because we did raise.
yeah, yes, we do show it on the floor plan here.
Yes. So is that something you were thinking about or you were happy that we made these
You know,
suggestions?
like we are having, like you pointed out, we are thinking about that, but once you pointed it out and then we explore it more, that's why the entry and the washroom door is over 36 inches.
Excellent.
So it's even better.
Right, and it's good for you, it's good for the community.
Yes.
Right? Because you are being inclusive.
Yes.
For those that you want to come here and live in this community and rent in your project. So we thank you for that. Thank you for working with our planner on those details. Excellent. And is that the case for both of the buildings?
Yes.
And will it be all the units or just some of them? With the wider?
All the units,
All
all the
the
units.
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
Okay, very good. I'm just wondering, Councillor Eady, if you have any questions. I'm just looking at my notes here.
No, I
Okay,
don't
tell
really have any questions.
Tell us about the material outside, the hardy siding. What are you?
Yes, yeah, it will be mixed colored with hardy siding throughout. And the interior finishing, we will have luxury product like hardwood kitchen and the quartz countertop, luxury vinyl floor throughout the building. And the plumbing fixture will be modern style and the LED lights throughout the building. So both buildings are energy efficient buildings we designed, and we are also, because of that, we're also getting some grants from the Energy Manitoba.
Is this a CMHC affordable housing project?
Yes.
Yes, CHMC affordable housing and for energy building, Energy Manitoba does have a program. We have to meet all kinds of energy requirement. We have energy engineer reviewed all the window and doors. We have triple pane and the insulation. We have even white rigid foam insulation on the outside of the building. So any mechanical equipment, we use efficient products and appliances. Everything will be energy efficient products.
apply for that energy rebate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
And
And we do know Manitoba is cold, yeah. We do use a lot of energy. We would like to build an energy efficient building.
good. And the fence that you're having around, tell us about the fencing, the kind of fencing you're gonna put up.
around the playground,
Yes,
yeah, it's metal fencing.
so the black ornamental,
Yes. That's the same kind of fencing we have around Templeton as well.
yes, that will look nice.
Yes, because then you can see the play structure and kids playing there.
Excellent. Now, the access points into both of these things is off the grade, not off port, correct?
Yes, it's off from the grade.
Now, when you were designing these buildings, I know the planner suggested a number of different layouts. You weren't wanting to put the buildings facing DeGrave, that layout didn't work for you?
No, that didn't work. The reason is like, because it's a T point, because the degree stops at Court Avenue. So we wanna give like a facing towards the Court Avenue and have the entrance through degree. So because degree, like there won't be that much of traffic because of the degree stops at Court Avenue. So, and Court Avenue is kind of a more traffic, busier than degree. So that was the reason we wanna keep entrance on degree.
Okay, thank you. And what is your construction timeline?
Our construction timeline, we wanna finish both of this building by end of next year. 2026, end of twenty
And
26.
when are you hoping to start?
ASAP,
Okay, and finishing next year, you were saying?
yes, by end of next year.
Next year, end of next year for both building, but for 160 DeGrave, we will finish next summer within a year.
Right.
Another building will be 6 months behind.
And you also have your townhome development, I think,
Yes.
next door that we just approved last month.
Yes,
Yes,
already, yeah,
You've started with that?
yes,
yes.
Are you
Because
supporting?
we got, just wanna let you know, because underground department, city underground department approved all three of them. We are actually doing the surveys already on these sites. So once we get approval from this committee, we will get on the construction ASAP,
Very good.
because this is the best talent for construction.
Are you using local trades in our
yes.
city?
All local trades, most of them. And yeah, we'd like to support local contractors and contractors basically waiting for our project because they want to work for us. And you already, and you and Simi already seen, we already finished one project in the area within the time limit.
Yes.
So, so we are using all the local contractors.
It's good to support local in our city. Thank
Yes.
you for that. Okay, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. The parking, you've got 180 parking spaces and both are the same?
Yes, we
And-
want to be within the city bylaw basically.
Yes,
And we don't like to have a variance on parking. And that's why sometimes we cut down on our units to meet that guidelines. Because like people need parking for their vehicle to park.
and you have 18 bicycle parking spaces?
Yes.
Both sites, yeah.
Yes,
And we see the pedestrian connections are very good. I know the planner really communicated that.
yes,
Took a lot of time discussing that with you.
yes,
Because the two sites, folks can move in between because of the playground.
yes.
So it's for both, three buildings, actually. This
Mm.
playground is gonna serve your three buildings.
3 buildings, yes.
Very good. All right, that's it. And I just want to highlight once again, please bring a presentation next time.
For sure.
and accessibility. Keep
Accessible.
that in mind at the beginning of your project.
Okay,
It serves everyone quite well.
okay.
Okay.
No, make sure we can make a note of that. So next time we'll bring the presentation in and then we'll keep the accessibility from day one.
Keep it in mind, absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
very much for your time.
Yes, will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, next delegation.
Next, we have to be heard with respect to Land Dedication Reserve Fund, Knights of Rizal, Winnipeg
That's
chapter.
good, Mr. Sandu, thank you.
Thank you.
Marker, which is report 4, we have Ray Sager.
Good morning.
Good morning, Councilor Sharma.
How are you,
Counselor.
Sir Satter?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. We are
My
actually very
fellow
excited.
Knights of Rizal.
Yes, yeah.
You're speaking to the item on land dedication funding for the historical marker? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm here today to in support for our request to create a permanent pedestal to mount the Dr. Jose Rizal historical marker. This was gifted to the city of Winnipeg and to the Knights of Rizal. The transfer actually happened on June 19th of this year, where the chair of the National Historical Commission and the executive director of National Historical Commission and Philippine Consulate in Winnipeg were present to transfer the marker. It was also well attended by the community, and Minister Malaya Marcelino was present as well, as MLA Cindy Lamoureux, and of course Councilor Santos was there to receive the marker.
Thank you. Were there any other sources of funding towards the marker project?
We did contributed, the Knights of Rizal contributed to the shipment of the marker towards Winnipeg.
Total cost?
The total cost is the breakdown was around 16,000. Yeah, but the delivery of the marker was around 3,500 from the Philippines to Winnipeg.
Thank you. And that's where the statue is already.
Yeah, the statue is already there, but there is no place where we can mount on the existing base of the statue, and that's where we're asking for a separate pedestal.
We've heard about the project through our colleague, and we all of us on this committee are happy to support projects related to Dr. Jose Rizal. You were at the recent park celebration as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for being here. We're well aware of the good work you do, and happy to work with Councillor Santos on this.
I'm glad it'll be finally fully finished.
All right. Yes,
That project started about under Councillor Packard, right?
that's correct. Yes.
And it's wonderful that you continually have celebrations there as well. It's not that you put the marker up and the statue up, you do gather with the community on various occasions. I've been there with you many times. So thank you for those efforts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to add that, we also gather in that location, even with the like a regular day, just to be present and with to be with the community.
That's right. Well, the
Yes.
plaza there at Waterford Green is a real meeting hub in the community. Lots of excellent restaurants and various amenities there.
Yes.
And so, and the statue is in a very prominent place where you can see it if you're in the plaza sitting, but also driving by. And it's a wonderful project, as Councillor Edie mentioned, spearheaded by our former councillor, Mike Pactican. And Councillor Santos carrying the torch forward, and others, to support the efforts. So thank you for being here today. No further questions.
Thank you very much.
We will be approving this later in the agenda.
All right.
Mr. Clerk?
Next up to be heard on the same item is Mr. Muhammad Ali.
I don't think he can make it today.
All right. And then lastly, we have Vincent Hossein to be heard with respect to park plan approval, development agreement 61/22, Aurora Phase 11A, Park Public Reserve A, which is report 3 on our agenda today.
Morning, Vincent.
Good morning.
Did you need the slide?
Yes.
You have a presentation. Thank you.
Yes, I believe so. Got this here, and then Zoom, I'll share the screen. Still full screen.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for meeting with me today, for having me. I am speaking to the Aurora Phase 11A Park. This is located in the Aurora at North Point development along North Point Boulevard, which is the main street that runs through the center of the development. This park is on the far east side of the development, just north of North Point Boulevard. We'll go to the first slide here. Oops. As you enter into the park, it has an entry node that is similar to all other entry nodes within the development. It also has a entry node pillar, which will have signage noting the park name as well as dedication of the park. In addition, it also has a double-sided City of Winnipeg park entry sign with address for, as is standard for safety location. And then as we move along through the park, we go south from the entry node. It's flanked by amber maple trees of the single stem variety. Going a little bit further down the 1.8 meter wide granular path, we come to the main entry node, the main design node in the center of the park. It has a concrete area for 2 benches that have 3 harvest gold lindens on the northeast and south side of this little concrete node with the 2 benches, as well as room for a wheelchair in between the benches. On the northwest part of the center node, there's an accessible picnic table with the accessible section of the picnic table pointing towards the granular path that you would enter in from for ease of accessibility for any wheelchairs that would like to participate in the picnic table. This node is surrounded by amber maples of the multi-stem variety and, as noted before, some harvest gold lindens. To the southwest of this main node is our playground. Our playground is a medium-sized playground and is approximately 380 square meters. We've worked with Playgrounds R Us to design an accessible playground that has many equipment features, as well as having a rolled curb right off the main node in the center of the park, right into the playground for accessibility. If you go south of the main node and come along the granular path, there is also an accessible ramp that leads to an accessible slide. So there's a circuit of accessibility included in the design as well. The park includes the playground includes all pieces of the playground core amenity requirements found in the park development guidelines, which was used to help determine the pieces of equipment within this park. We've spoken with PP&D and Councillor Sharma to also help design this to be something that we can all be happy and proud with. Some other minor additions around the playground itself. To the southwest of the playground is a small granular pad with 2 benches. And that is just in front of two Triumph elm trees. So the intention is to have lots of good shade, sitting areas with shade around this park. There, we also have a large informal green space on the east side, takes up, I'd say, the east half of this park. Intended for, informal green space. It can be used for a multitude of purposes, ultimate frisbee, kicking a ball around, etc. The path that runs from the main entry node down to the main node in the center of the park continues south, curves to the west, and exits out onto Avior Drive. Is that my time?
Yeah, Councillor Reedy, do you move extension of 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah, I'll move extension of an extra 5 minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary, carried.
Thank you very much. I'm nearly done anyway. I have an enlargement of the playground features themselves. The rolled curb, as you can see, is on the northeast part of the playground, connected to the main node of the park. And on the north part of the playground, we have the 2 to 5 year old playground equipment. On the east and south sides of the playground, we have the 5 to 12 year old equipment. And on the west side of the playground are 4 swings with various types of swing types. And here's a 3D render showing the playground equipment that I just spoke about. So I'll leave it there and say thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you, Vincent. Very good presentation. There's been a lot of work that went into them. You held consultations, you represent McGowan Russell. And myself, as a representative for the area and the developer, we held a community consultation where we showed the public some rough concepts, and they really liked what you showed them, and you've incorporated now some things that you heard. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a good turnout for our meeting. They're right in the Aurora community. I like the fact that you have play equipment for younger kids and older kids. That's great. And swings are a must. The slide, you've got, you've hit all the high notes here. The concrete circle when we come in, what did you call that again?
Yes, the concrete circle at the start is the entry node.
So it's similar to the first park of Aurora? You have something similar?
It's the same design as the other 4 parks in Aurora.
Yes, excellent. Okay, good. And you have 2 benches there.
I have 2 benches in the center node.
Yes, and the picnic table there.
Yes, and the picnic table, as well as 2 additional benches southwest of the playground.
There are no plans for a shade structure because the community wanted it in the first park. You and I worked on that as well with the rest of your team at McGowan Russell. I'm just wondering in the future, if, and I want to say a big if, we were going to do that here, is there a place for it?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to see right in the center node of the park to have a shade structure incorporated into this node. I think that would be a beautiful.
So is this being created? If we wanted to do that in the future, it would work
Yes.
on the existing pad site. Now, what about elsewhere if we did it somewhere else in the site? Because in the first park, it's not in the entry node. It's in a different, the placement is different.
Correct. Yes. We have opportunity, I would say, on the, it would make most sense to have it on the southeast of the playground to be built into this berm. We could pull back some material here. I think this would be a good location for it. Alternatively, if we wanted it closer to the road, we can have it in this area as well.
There's a few different opportunities there.
Yes,
Excellent.
correct. This area being the northwest.
What is the timeline for construction?
I hope to have this tendered and constructed by the end of September, middle of October this year.
So it should hopefully be installed by the end of the season this year.
I'd very much
Or
like,
you might go into the spring a little bit to finish things off.
if there's any minor
Weather
things.
Dependent, okay.
Correct.
You've got the accessible picnic bench, accessible swing with the bucket swing, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Are there accessible elements around the slide?
Yes, as you climb up, as you can roll up the slide or up the rail from the south end of the playground, there are multiple accessible equipment on the first landing. Then there's a bridge that goes across to a second landing with the accessible double slide on off of there.
And what made you put all these accessible components in there? It's just good to do this for communities.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I think inclusion of accessible equipment and accessible playgrounds is a pillar of good design. And I think that not including it is I feel negligent on my part if I were to do something without. So I really believe strongly that accessible playgrounds are very important.
Thank you, and we've had those discussions as well at the community level and together with Miguel and Russell. Thank you for incorporating these elements. It means a lot.
Very well.
Okay, and the dedication, if we can talk about that, we've done similar things at the other park. If we can discuss some of the wording that might go on the pillar, and I can do that, Vincent, yeah. All right, just looking at my notes here. This is the last park in Aurora, is
I
it?
believe so. There may be another PR to the east of this, but I haven't seen the final plans. I think that's phase either 11 or phase
11B?
B, 11B or 12. I suspect this is the last one,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure how much further Takata is intending
Sure.
to.
Look to that. And around the Chief Pegulas Trail, which is really close by, there is some green space there. So when we develop that parkland, neighbors, residents in Aurora will be utilizing that space as well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. This is excellent. Such good work. You're so thoughtful in your design. I want to please thank Jackie Wilkie, Susan Russell. We've all talked a lot about various projects in Aurora, including this one. Just so happy with your work. And if you could pass on to Takata, they're very thoughtful, builders. They put sidewalks in throughout the development. The parks have come online early and not after so many residents have moved in. And we appreciate that. It's a shining example of a good development. Thank you very much. Yes, and I will be moving to approve the plans later in the agenda. Thank you, Vincent. Have a great day.
As well.
And that concludes delegations for today.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Clerk, on to the item.
Right. Item 1, plan approval, 230 DeGrave Street.
Here from our planner first.
The applicant gave the oral presentation, do you want me to just keep it?
Yes, could you speak a
Very
little
brief.
louder?
Would you like me to keep the presentation brief?
Go ahead. We'd
Okay.
like to hear.
Okay, great. So for 230 DeGraw, this is a plan approval application for a 6-story multifamily residential building with 119 units. The site is located at the northwest corner of DeGrave and Court Avenue in the Leela North neighborhood of the Old Kiplunga Ward. The proposed building is 60 feet in height and oriented along the south property line towards Court Avenue. The accessory parking area would be located behind the building with access from DeGrave. The primary building entrances would be located on the elevations facing Court Avenue and the accessory parking area, with additional entrances on the east and west elevations. But those facing Corton and the parking area are the principal entrances. The proposed building will be finished with hardy siding in pear gray, iron gray, booth bay blue, and khaki brown. Vehicle access, oh, I mentioned that already. The applicant is providing a 1:1.5 parking ratio, meeting the zoning bylaw requirements, with 180 outdoor parking spaces, including 6 accessible parking spaces, 2 van accessible stalls, 18 visitor parking spaces, and 48 small car stalls, also aligned with the zoning bylaw requirements. So it's not exceeding small car stalls. In addition to that, the applicant is proposing to provide 18 outdoor bicycle parking spaces on racks. Accessible pedestrian connections and crossings have been provided. There is on the abutting site at 160, there's a proposal to include a playground and there's an accessible accessible pathway connecting to that, as well as through a few other parking areas in the parking lot. The plans provided meet the street edge landscaping requirements with 24 trees and 103 shrubs, as well as 32 shrubs for building foundation landscaping and 10 trees and 31 shrubs for parking lot interior landscape. This is with 3 types of trees and 6 types of shrubs overall. There is a snow storage area provided in the southwest corner of the proposed parking area as well, of the southwest corner of the site. Finally, the applicant has also provided floor plans showing accessibility elements in the building plans, including 36-inch wide exterior and interior doorways and open kitchen layouts for all units. Do you have any questions?
Excellent, thank you. I want to thank you, Ms. Renz, for all your work on this application with the developer. I know there was a lot of back and forth in a positive way. It's good to collaborate and work through things. And I want to thank you for your time. Councilor Rainey, we heard from the developer. We had their presentation, a lot of details were shared with us. I'm very happy about what's presented. The colors look great. Not on this particular site, but the next one, they put the playground that will be shared between their three properties.
Okay.
And I've been waiting for development in this for a long time, so as you have. We worked with long-range planning for many years there to finish the precinct plan in this area. So the landowners could move forward with development. We're experiencing a lot of growth in Northwest Winnipeg, so this is going to be a very good addition to the community. Yeah, I don't have any questions. Everything's been answered. Everything's been worked through. So the playground's excellent. It's nice to have something on site. The developer went above and beyond to do that because there is a park in the area and there's a school site. But I think they know that it's been well used, the space in their other property just close by on Pipeline and Templeton. And so we've decided to put a playground in here as well at the 160 DeGray property. So very happy with what we see here today. I don't have any particular questions.
Okay, would you like me to take the chair for the rest of these? I think they're
Yes,
all
please.
these reports are.
I'll pass the chair on to you.
Yeah, okay.
So I've made my comments and really happy about the developments finally moving forward here. Developers very diligent as well of getting their buildings up quickly in a timely manner, because we have seen other sites in the city that have been dragging for a while. And appreciate your attention to detail and getting on the project quickly and using local trades. We heard that from them this morning in the presentation. So I'd like to move, Mr. Chair, item 1, plat approval, 230 DeGrave Street, as submitted.
Yeah. Before I call the vote, thanks to our planner who works with these developers. Okay, all those in favor? Nobody's opposed. That is carried. Councillor Sharma. Report 2 is plan approval 150 DeGrave.
160.
Yep.
To share on this site.
The proposal is very similar. I'll highlight a couple of things. It's designed to complement the building at 230 DeGrave. So it's on the lot located immediately north of it. Also with access from DeGrave, and it backs onto the future park area. Principal entrances are also facing the accessory parking area with additional entrances on the sides of the building. With this one, there's slight differences with the proposed colors, but same materials. So in this one, it's pear gray, iron gray, lost embers, which is kind of a smoky dark gray, or charcoal, and country red. There are fewer small car stalls on this site. There are 18 small car stalls on this site. Other than the parking solution is the same. A key difference on this site is the inclusion of the the outdoor playground area with 6 benches, and it's enclosed with a 4-foot-high ornamental metal fence. The gate is at the rear of the site. There is a gate at the rear of the site for residents to access the abutting future park on north of the site. And the snow storage area for this site is in the northwest corner of the proposed parking area. Apart from that, it's quite the same as the other building.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move the item, and before I do, just want to say again, very happy about this project. The plans align with Complete Communities Direction and Strategy 2.0 in our precinct plan E. It's adding a variety of housing stock that we need in the area, seeing the growth that we have in Northwest Winnipeg. It's a really good design, and they have a visually prominent entry point that backs onto the Central Park. So it's going to be lovely when it's made. So I look forward to being on site with them for some sort of kickoff. And they're promising construction to be finished by the end of next year. Hopefully, if all goes well, the timing. So very, very
They said
excited.
on this one, 160, they're looking at it being done by,
End of December next year.
that's 2:30, I think. Anyway, one of them they said would be done by
Following,
about 6 months before, so June, July.
but all coming to a head at the end of next year. Very exciting. Yeah, they're very thoughtful as well, developers. Attention to detail. They revised their plans to make it more accessible. And that's very much appreciative to have a housing complex that's inclusive to all people.
They'll have wide doors. That's good.
Thank you. I'll move the plans as submitted, Mr. Chair, for 160 DeGrave Street.
Okay, all those in favor? Nobody's opposed. That is carried. Moving on to the park, 3 park plan approval, development agreement, 61.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We talked extensively about this during the delegation time. I'm wondering if our planner has anything else to add. Or Shauna Prosiak's on the line with us. Could we have her join us? Hi, Shauna. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, sure.
Anything you'd like to highlight or run us through your thoughts on this plan?
So,
Mr. Chair, I forgot you're in the chair. Go ahead.
which is okay, but I'd like just a little clarification. This is a city-owned park?
This is a public park.
Public park, okay, good.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Shauna?
I would like to say that Vincent did a great job explaining the park and all the amenities that the park will provide. It is a great design, and it really fits our requirements for core amenities within parks. So we have a playground here, we have an open green space, and then within 2,000 meter walk is the picnic area. So everything at the North Point Park. So everything is meeting the needs of the park strategy, and even better with the better design of the accessibility with the ramp structure. So yes, I think they did a great job.
Shauna, you work specifically with Vincent at McGowan Russell, right, on this? They submitted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate your diligence, Shauna. You know what we're looking for with our park strategy, as you outlined, and the accessible elements are really appreciated. It's going to be a great space that's going to be enjoyed by the community.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Any comments on if we potentially, and I say that in cap locks, highlighted potential shade structure? You heard Vincent noted that it could go in certain areas. Are you in agreement with that?
I think the areas where the hills are currently are probably the best locations. It might be a little bit too crowded to have it right at the entry.
Yeah.
And plus, then it allows people to sit at gather at different areas within the park. It's not all in one space. So there are spaces. It's just there'd have to be a little bit of a grading if we were to add it in.
Okay, thank you very much, Shauna. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
All right then, Councillor Sharman, do you have the motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, excellent work by Miguel and Russell. Vincent really led this design. Vincent was in, and excellent work. So happy with everything they presented here. I want to thank Susan Russell at Miguel and Russell and Jackie Wilkie. There's many people that have been involved in this plan. Appreciate their dedication to what they presented, but also listening to the community and taking the time to have a consultation meeting. Not everyone makes the effort to do that. They certainly did, and I was there with them on site, and the community appreciated having a voice. So I'd like to move that we approve the plans as submitted.
All right, then call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nobody's opposed. That is carried. So report 4 is a land dedication reserve to establish a marker for Dr. Jose Rizal in the area where the statue exists. Can you just move the?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to
On
move
behalf
this
of council.
application on behalf of Councillor Santos. She's done a lot of work with the Knights of Rizal, with Sir Ray and others, Sir Muhammad Ali. You and I have been involved in the Knights of Rizal project over the years as well, so it's a pleasure to move this on behalf of Councillor Santos, $10,000 from the Land Dedication Reserve.
Excellent. All those in favor?
So the motion is to not concur in the public service recommendation
Right.
and to recommend to council that
To waive criteria be waived, that's right.
Okay. All right then. Oh yeah, because it's on private land, right? Yeah, anyway, so that's the motion. Yeah, and so it goes to EP, where does it go
EPC,
next?
EBC next.
Next, yeah, okay. All right then. All those in
The
favor?
critical path, Peter, in the report just says LSWK, so we'll change
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Okay, it'll go on to EPC and council.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Nobody's opposed. That is carried. Thank you. Thanks for moving adjournment,
Yeah, I'd
Councillor
like to move
Sharma.
adjournment. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nobody's opposed. That's carried.